experiment. And before my presentation, I would like to ask you guys a question. Do you believe in telepathy, 心电感应? If yes, please raise your hand. Oh, thank you. That's many of you. So, Gansfield experiment today is going to persuade you that the telepathy does exist. This is going to be my outline today, and first of all, I will introduce the background of this experiment, and then I will talk about how these experiments work in this procedure, and I'll give you a result and an example, and then here comes my conclusion. And Gansfield is actually a German word called entire field, and it is originally introduced into the experimental psychology, 实验心理学, by a German psychologist called Wolfgang Metzger. Because he had been working on the field of parapsychology and ESP, extrasensory perception, 心灵学和超感知觉. And in 1970, another psychologist called Charles Arnott, he also had been working on the field of ESP and dream, because he believed that if once a person's sensation have been deprived, and then the psychological connection between man and man will be stronger. So in a typical Gansfield experiment, there will be a receiver and a sender in the experiment. And in the beginning, the receiver will go into a small room with full red lights, with the eye covered by 2 half ping pong balls, and then they will also have to wear a set of headphones playing with white noise. Just in case you don't know what white noise, I'll play it a little bit for you. Okay, so this is white noise. The purpose of doing this is to deprive the receiver sensation for half an hour. So at the same time, the sender in another room will have to pick a randomly picture or an object and try the best to mentally convey the information to the receiver. So in these 30 minutes, the receiver will maybe start to unconsciously talk about the information they have received from the sender, and then the tester will have to record all the words that they have said. So for example, if Coco is a receiver, then she will be thrown into a small room with full red lights, and then to cover her eyes with headphones playing with white noise. And if Esme is the sender, and then she will have maybe pick a random picture, like maybe she picks Ivy, and then she will have to think about the Ivy's appearance, and then mentally send it to Coco. And then after the experiment, Coco will be given 3 pictures, and then Coco will have to pick the real Ivy. So the result is very shocking, because among 1,048 trials among this, and 283 receivers have correctly picked the right one. And this is a very shocking data, because that means in this classroom, like at least 10 of you could have the ability of telepathy. So if you still don't believe in telepathy, then I'll give you a real-life example. In 1930, a writer called Upton Sinclair, he wrote about a book describing the experiment that's done by he and his wife. The upper picture is the picture that Upton chose to send to his wife. And then the bottom one is the picture that drawn by his wife according to the image that his wife received during the experiment. So that's really shocking, because they are similar, and at least they have 50% resemblance. So my conclusion is that this is human brains very magic and incredible, and these experiments tell us more about the unknown part of our brains, and it is very shocking, because after all, we'll only have used our 10% of part of our brain. So thank you.